Hello, today we are going to talk about sports and sports events that are going on in our country and worldwide. Are you keen on sports? Do you like sports? Are you keen on sports? Da li volite sport? Have you ever participated in a sports event? Da li ste ikada učestvovali u sportskom događaju? What kind of an event was that? When did it happen? Kada se dogodio taj događaj? So in order to be fit and healthy, we have to participate in sports events and we have to take up some sport. Today we're going to read a text and watch a video about Health and Sports Day in Japan. It's a day when many people practice sports and participate in different kinds of sporting activities. It's a very interesting text and I hope you're going to learn a lot about this day in Japan. So let's listen to the text first. Listen.
Health and Sports Day in Japan by Koki Shiono.
Here in Japan, we're very keen on sports. In fact, we even have a national holiday to celebrate our love of sports. It's called Health and Sports Day, and it takes place every year on the second Monday in October. Japanese people have celebrated this day since 1966. It commemorates the opening of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo 2 years before in 1964. On Health and Sports Day, most schools hold their annual field day. It's like a mini Olympics. Students compete in teams and take part in a huge variety of events. I've always enjoyed field day at my school, and this year was no different. The day began with a parade of all the teams. Then, all of the competitors spread out across a field for group stretching. During the day, we competed in many traditional track and field events, like the 100-meter sprint and the long jump, but we did some unique Japanese games too. For example, in Tama-ire, large teams have 2 to 3 minutes to throw as many small bean bags as possible into a basket at the top of a tall pole. And in Otama Gorogashi, teams of 2 have to roll a giant ball through an obstacle course. Health and Sports Day isn't just for kids. It promotes an active lifestyle for people of all ages. Actually, there were some special events for parents at my school too. My dad didn't compete because he had a headache, but I think that was just an excuse. Anyway, the whole day was a lot of fun. I can't wait for next year.
Okay, so this text is about the field day. Koki is the author of this text and he talks about the field day in his school. A field day is a part of Health and Sports Day, which is celebrated every second Monday in October. And on the field day, pupils, teachers, and parents participate in in a huge variety of events and activities. They have some traditional track and field events, like 100-meter sprint and the long jump, sprint ili trka na 100 metara i skok u dalj. And also they have some unique Japanese games, for example, Tama-ire and Otama Gorogashi activity, which is very different from our activities that we do and play here in our country. So on this Health and Sports Day in Japan, most schools have different kinds of activities and they enjoy being active along with their teachers and parents. And on this day they promote active lifestyle and healthy lifestyle, actually. So many kinds of activities happen. They begin with a parade. Aktivnosti počinju paradom svih timova. And then all of the competitors spread out across the field for group stretching. Onda se svi takmičari raspoređuju po igralištu i rade grupno zagrevanje, odnosno stezanje. and then they have these different kinds of activities. So very very interesting text about one day in October, which promotes healthy lifestyle, and people have started celebrating this day in 1966 after the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Okay, let's watch the video about this text. It will be interesting for you, I'm sure, to watch the video and see and get some more information about these two traditional Japanese games.
Health and Sports Day in Japan. Here in Japan, we're very keen on sports. In fact, we even have a national holiday to celebrate our love of sports. It's called Health and Sports Day, and it takes place every year on the second Monday in October. Japanese people have been celebrating this day since 1966, and it commemorates the opening of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo 2 years before, in 1964. On Health and Sports Day, most schools hold their annual field day. It's like a mini Olympics. Students compete in teams and take part in a huge variety of events. I've always enjoyed field day at my school, and this year was no different. The day began with a parade of all the teams. Then, all of the competitors spread out across a field for group stretching. During the day, we competed in many traditional track and field events, like the 100-meter sprint and the long jump. But we did some unique Japanese games too. For example, in Tama-ire, large teams have 2 to 3 minutes to throw as many small beanbags as possible into a basket at the top of a tall pole. And in Otama Korigashi, teams of 2 have to roll a giant ball through an obstacle course. Health and Sports Day isn't just for kids. It promotes an active lifestyle for people of all ages. Actually, there were some special events for parents in my school too. My dad didn't compete because he had a headache, but I think that was just an excuse. Anyway, the whole day was a lot of fun. I can't wait for next year.
Okay, in this presentation you have text vocabulary that you're going to copy in your notebooks. And now let's see if you understood the text. So, when was the first Health and Sports Day in Japan? It was in 1966. And in this traditional Japanese game, Tama-ire, competitors play individually in big groups or in teams of 2. They play in big groups. Koki believes that his father wasn't really ill, wanted to compete, or wasn't feeling well. What about his father? Did he want to participate? No, he didn't. Actually, he wasn't really ill, but he said that he had a headache. Okay, and here we will read the sentences and say whether they are true or false. So, the Japanese celebrate Health and Sports Day at the end of October. Japanci slave ovaj dan zdravlja i sporta krajem oktobra. It's false. They celebrate it every second Monday in October. They have celebrated this special day since 1964. Slave ga od 64. godine. It's false. They have celebrated it since 1966. Most schools have their annual field day on Health and Sports Day. Većina škola ima svoj dan sporta u okviru ovog državnog dana sporta i zdravlja. Yes, it's true. Field day includes traditional track and field events like the long jump. Na ovaj dan su se sprovode aktivnosti kao što su tradicionalne trke ili sportski događaji na terenima, uključujući i skok u dalj. True. In Tama era, teams of two have to roll a ball through an obstacle course. No, it's false. It's in the second game called Otama Korogashi. Health and Sports Day is the day for people of all ages to enjoy. Ovaj dan je namenjen svim ljudima. Yes, it's true. Okay. So, whether you're fit and healthy, it sometimes can happen that you have some health problems. Let's see what kind of health problems you might have.
A headache, a sore throat, a stomachache, a temperature, a cold.
Prehoda, a cold. Okay, so even if you are sporty and active, sometimes it can happen that you might feel or experience some health problems. Ponekad možete imati zdravstvene probleme, such as a headache, a sore throat, a stomachache, a temperature, or a cold. So health problems. What kind of health problems can you have? You can have a headache, a sore throat, a stomachache, or a backache, bol u leđima, earache, a temperature, a cold, or a runny nose, a toothache, a flu, a fever. So, have you ever had a sore throat? Da li ste ikada imali upal u grlo? What did you do then? What kind of medicine, medications, or pills did you take? Did you go to see a doctor? How did you behave? What did you do? Did you have some rest? Did you stay in bed? Did you check your temperature? Did you drink some hot tea? Okay, so we have some health problems here and treatments for the health problems. Kako lečimo ove zdravstvene probleme? Kao što primećujete, u ovom drugom delu koristimo imperativ, odnosno počinjemo rečenicu glagolom i savjetujemo nekoga kako da reši određeni zdravstveni problem. For example, if you have a headache, take a painkiller. Ako imate glavobolju, uzmite nešto za bolove. If you have a sore throat, see a doctor. Posjeti lekara. If you have a cold, ako ste prehlađeni, or you have a runny nose, what can you do? Don't drink cold drinks. Nemojte piti hladno piće. If you have a fever, stay in bed. Ostanite u krevetu. Don't go out. Go and see a doctor. Get some rest. Drink some hot tea. Popijte vruć čaj. Okay. And look here. I've got a headache. What can you do? What can we recommend to this person if somebody says I've got a headache? What can we suggest? Take a painkiller. Uzmi nešto za protiv bolova. Take a painkiller. I've got a sore throat. You should get some rest or you should see a doctor. I've got a stomachache. Also, you should get some rest or you should see a doctor. I've got a temperature. You should see a doctor. I've got a cold. Prehlađen sam. Don't go out, stay in bed. Ostani u krevetu. Okay. So these are some kinds of suggestions for these health problems. And what about this? I can't lift that heavy box because I have a... Let's fill in the sentences. I can't lift that heavy box. Ne mogu da podignem tu tešku kutiju zato što imam. I have a stomachache. Right after I ate all that candy, I got a stomachache. Okay. Don't touch my arm. It hurts. I feel hot. I think I have a fever. Groznicu ili temperaturu. It's hard to talk because I have a... Teško mi je da pričam zato što imam sore throat, upalo u grlo ili boli me grlo. I feel sick. Muka mi je. I can't go to school today. I can't lift that heavy box because I have a backache. Bole me leđa. Okay, or this one. Let's practice. Fill in the sentence. Popunite rečenicu. I've got a headache. What's the matter? Okay. I don't feel very well. Ne osjećam se baš dobro. I'm hot. Vruć sam. I think I've got a temperature. I've got a temperature. Fred fell off his bike and hurt his leg. We must call the dentist, zubara, ambulance, hitnu pomoć, matter. We must call the ambulance. I have a sore and it hurts when I talk to people. I have a sore throat. Upalo u grlo. I don't have any problems because I do sports and eat good food. I don't have problems with health. Nemam problema sa zdravljem. Which one is it? Pain or nurse? Look at the sentence. The nurse said that the doctor is busy and I should wait 5 minutes. Okay. So today we read a text about one special day in Japan when people practice different kinds of sports and it is celebrated in schools as well. And we discussed some health problems and the ways we can solve them. Pomenuli smo neke zdravstvene tegobe i način kako možemo da ih rešimo. Rekli smo da možemo upotrebiti imperativ kada savetujemo ili preporučujemo, predlažemo način za rešenje nekog zdravstvenog problema i imperative počinjemo glagolom, kao što vidite ovdje. For homework, write an article about a sporting event. The article should contain 80 to 100 words. Napišite tekst o jednom događaju koji ste posetili ili ste čitali o njemu. Možete i ovaj koji smo danas čitali. And you have to write information about the name of the event, ime događaja, place where it happened, mesto gde se dešava, date, when is it or when was it, kada se desio, reason, why did it take place, zašto se desio, activities at the event, koje aktivnosti su bile na tom događaju, what kind of activities did you or the people take part in, and who were the participants, who participated in the event, ko je učestvovao na događaju. So write a similar text like the one we read about Sports and Health Day in Japan. And the text should contain 80 to 100 words. So you can also write a short text about Health and Sports Day in Japan. This one we have read. And also copy the words from these slides. This was all for today's class. See you in the next. Goodbye.